whether it's fear or love or anger or joy, we need to understand it's not about something, it's by itself. It is not that there must be something that you must be afraid of. It is not that there must be somebody that you are in love with. It is not that you are happy about something or miserable about something. You can be simply miserable. Hello? 6? Or you can be simply happy. You can simply sit here just by yourself and be very loving. You can sit here and be terrified about nothing. Because human experience is not created from outside. Human experience is happening from within. So what happens from within may sometimes find outside stimulus, but you can work it even without external stimulus. Hello? All of you are experts, aren't you? Without any external stimulus, you can create pain, you can create joy, you can create misery, you can create anger, love, fear, whatever you want. Because the seat of experience is within you. Only thing is you are not sitting there, you're crawling around it. You're supposed to be sitting there on the seat. If you were sitting on the seat of your experience, you would decide what should be the nature of your experience. Right now, because you're crawling around, something happens accidentally. We find an excuse. It's because of this guy I'm suffering. Even if he's not there, we would find somebody else. Hello? If that guy is not there, we'll find somebody else. If that is not there, we'll find something else. So, this is not about something. This is about that you have not taken charge of the seat of your experience, that's all. You just need an excuse. And the world will, of course, the world is quite enthusiastic about providing you the excuses. It will. They will provide lots of excuses. But believe me, if you were alone in the desert, you would still go through all these things without anybody around you, without any threat to your life. Yes or no? So, this is the fundamental flaw with life. Instead of fixing myself, I want to fix the whole world. Well, do what you want. You can't even fix one more person absolutely in your life. Hello? 100%? Did you get anybody ever just the way you want, 100%? Did you? Even… they're telling me even robotic machines have their own characteristics, they do their own thing. Even if you have a dog these days, they do their own thing. Yes, because you couldn't fix anybody, that's why you try to settle with a dog. But even that guy does his own thing. You can never fix anything outside of you 100%. If at all, if you're looking for that kind of success, 100%, you can only try with this guy. Try anybody else, you will fail. Yes or no? Hello? Try anybody, you will definitely fail. There's only one. This one, you could do him 100% the way you want. If you manage this one the way you want, where is the question of fear, suffering, misery, all this? This is not because of situations. This is because of the state we are in. Because no investment has been made for the being. First of all, we must decide, are we human beings or are we human creatures? The difference between a creature and a being is, a creature is a consequence of compulsive reactions to everything around us. That's a creature. A being means you know how to be. If you knew how to be, would you be blissed out? Or would you make yourself fearful or miserable or what? What's your choice? You must choose, I'm going to bless you just Definitely, highest level of pleasantness, isn't it, for yourself? What you want for your neighbor may be debatable, but what you want for yourself is very clear, highest level of pleasantness. Why such a simple thing is not happening? It is not happening because, we gave you a very complex machine. Peak of evolution on this planet is you. If you were an earthworm, you wouldn't have these problems. Just eating, sleeping, reproducing, dying, you are fine. You're doing great as a creature. But you became human, now it's a very complex machine. But you don't even bother to read the user's manual. Simply somehow you want to do it. Such a complex machine, if you try to do it somehow, accidentally, oh, it will cause much pain. Unable to bear pain, most people have given up on joy and moving towards pleasure. You must understand this. The need for entertainment and pleasure in the world has increased simply because there's no joy. If really human beings were joyful, they would not need so much entertainment and pleasure in their life. Pleasure becomes a compulsion when there is no joyfulness, and if you don't cause pleasure with something or the other, pain is just waiting in the background, just there. So, fear is not about something. Fear is just your inability to manage your thoughts. They are running away ahead of you. Fear is always about something that's yet to happen, isn't it?
Yes.
So that means you are suffering something that does not exist. If you suffer something that does not exist, there are medically very bad terms for that. It's not about one human being, it's just literally 99% of the human population is in this condition. Different levels maybe, but 99% of the human population is in this condition. They are suffering things which do not exist. What happened 10 years ago, they still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. What happened 10 years ago does not exist right now. What may happen day after tomorrow does not exist right now. But things that don't exist, they suffer simply because two major faculties that you have which sets you apart distinctly from other creatures is, you have a very vivid sense of memory and a fantastic sense of imagination. These two faculties, which are the best things you have, this is what most human beings are suffering. They are suffering their memory and they are suffering their imagination. These are the greatest tools you have. So, what should have been the most fantastic well-being? When I say well-being, you know Charles Darwin, that guy, the English guy? Hello? He said, all of you were monkeys, not me. That all of you were monkeys and you became human. So, essentially, on this planet, you're the peak of evolution. You agree with me or no?
Yes.
So, if you are the peak of evolution, that means you have come with the highest level of faculties. Because there are so many possibilities of being human, because your life is not fixed like that of a creature. When I say not fixed like a creature, For every other creature, nature has drawn two lines within which they live and die. The reason why an animal's life looks so much simpler and better is because there are no possibilities. So what human beings are suffering is their possibilities. If you destroy the possibilities, you will also be fine. If you want, we can have a portion of your brain removed. You will be so peaceful, you will not know fear, you will not know suffering, you will not know anxiety, you will not know nothing. Yes. All we have to do is take away the possibilities. With the possibilities, the problems are also gone. So right now the problem is the fantastic possibilities that have been invested in us. So to take away the possibilities, either we can remove your brain or we can soak it in whiskey. Both ways you can do it. You take away the faculties, then you're okay. So, the problem is just this, that when you're given something so complex, you need to spend a certain amount of time knowing the nature of the machine that you're using. See, some people are handling these cameras. That's not a spacecraft. It's a simple enough machine, but I'm sure these guys have spent years trying to know it the best. Just any of you get there and do it, what'll happen out of it? Just see a simple machine like a camera. Yes or no? Somebody invested their life. The better they know it, the better they use it. Is it so? Hello?
Yes.
Why is that not true with this? The better you know this, the better you use it, isn't it? So if you know it really well, people say you're realized.
But I think most of us, especially when we come to the level in which we're acknowledging of you, that we all have the urge to improve ourselves.
No, they should not improve themselves.
Why?
Because fear also may improve, misery also may improve. It's happening to a lot of people. See, why did we invent this idea of education? 20-25 years of investment of life. Nearly 1/3 of effective human life is invested in school and college for most people. So tell me, are educated people more joyful and fantastic compared to uneducated people?
No, but that's not the only way to improve yourself. I don't only look at that in improving yourself, that's just…
No, I'm saying that was the idea behind it, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, it's talking about it from far from a human perspective to reach your highest potential. Until you manifest it, you don't even exist anymore.
No, I'm saying improvement as an idea is not a good idea. What you need is realization, that you realize what is the nature of your existence. From that, you do whatever. If it's a physical activity, you can improve. You can improve how you're doing something in the world, but you cannot improve this one. It's a fake thing. If you realize everything is settled, otherwise anyway it's a struggle. When situations are good, you pretend that you're improved. When situations turn against you, you will see who is who. When everything is going well, everybody is fantastic, you know. When life turns against you, still are you fantastic? That's the question.
I don't know. I think most people take life as it comes. From my experience, I never thought any good would ever happen to me. Just from being brought up in my environment, in my neighborhood, that you always saw bad things. People died. It was just normal seeing people die, seeing prostitutes, just seeing that kind of filth and stuff. It was normal. Matter of fact, it was even honorable because it became so normal. We normalized it.
So it's like this. In the yogic culture, we always use lotus flower as a symbolism for human growth and development. Lotus flower grows best wherever filth is really thick. So, Why we're using lotus as a example or a symbolism is, this grows well because there is filth. It stays in the filth, but untouched and fragrant. So this is a choice that all of us have. Either we can develop allergy to filth and run away and live in a mountain cave. There also filth will follow you in your head, it won't leave you. Or we can become part of the filth. Or we can blossom into a fragrant flower. This is a choice every human being has every moment of their life. Will they exercise this choice? That is a question mark.
Yeah, I'm very flowerful. Right?
Definitely, man. You definitely are. Sadhguru, how does one begin to read the user manual?
So, user's manual means there is a systematic way of observing simple things. When I say simple things, it is a fact that what you call as myself right now is largely the physical body. This is an accumulated dimension of who you are. You gathered it over a period of time, isn't it? It's a food that you've eaten, it's just slowly gathered. So this is called as Annamaya Kosha, that means this is a food body. So what kind of food you're putting into your system has a consequence. Well, everybody may grow up like that, but the question is it fulfilling the purpose of being a being, human being, not a human creature? Is it supporting your nature of being a human being? That's a question. Well, when it was a question of survival, we ate whatever came our way, that's a different matter. But now survival is taken care of, it's a time that we need to pay attention. If we want to be human being, what kind of body should I possess? Will it support my being or will it make me into a reactive process? All creatures, nothing wrong with them. You take a tiger or an elephant or a snake, nothing wrong with them, they are perfect creatures. Only thing is limited possibilities, isn't it? Hello? What else is wrong with them? Nothing is wrong with them, they're just fine. It's just that limited possibility. You got promoted to be a human being, this simply means enormous possibilities. If possibilities are not harnessed and explored, you have enormous problems. What you are experiencing as problems are actually possibilities nudging you to explore. When you don't, they will freak you, and they should, because otherwise you may slip back in the evolutionary scale. It can happen to any human being. So, one thing is the physical body. Of course, you have a thought process, you have an emotional structure, or let's say the psychological scape. Mind is not just in one place. Every cell in the body has its own intelligence and memory. Actually, in every cell in your body, there is more memory and more intelligence than your entire brain put together. Even million years ago, how your forefathers were, even their skin tone, your body still remembers, isn't it? So, the amount of memory that is there in every cell in your body is far bigger than what you hold in your mind. Even if it comes to the complexity of what every cell, the activity that it's performing, your brain is nowhere capable of managing that. So, we don't see intelligence or mind as one place, the entire body. So this is a body of intelligence. Because people have gotten trapped in their own thought process, they think intelligence is only here. This entire system is full of intelligence, isn't it? Do you know how to manage your kidneys? I'm asking you. You know.
Drink a lot of water. No liquor.
That doesn't solve everything.
Oh, man.
Many water drinkers have died too soon. I'm asking, the complexity of any one organ, are you able to manage consciously? No. It is
Why
so…
do we believe we can, though?
Huh?
Why do we believe we can?
Because we are full of bullshit.
Yeah. We're pretty delusional, pretty much.
Yes. Everything that we do not know, we want to believe. We are still not straight enough to come to this place. What I know, I know. What I do not know, I do not know. Whatever I do not know, I believe. Well, you can bull yourself like this for some time. Because, can I tell you a joke?
Yeah, please. It's getting too tense here.
So this happened, a bull and a pheasant were grazing upon the field. The bull was chomping on the grass and the pheasant was picking ticks off the bull, partnership. There's a huge tree at the edge of the field and the pheasant looked up at the tree very nostalgically and said, "Oh alas, there was a time I could fly to the topmost branch of the tree. Now I do not have enough strength in my wing even to get to the first branch." The bull very nonchalantly said, "That's no issue. Just eat a little bit of my dung every day. You will get to the topmost branch of the tree within a fortnight." The pheasant said, "Oh, come on, what kind of rubbish is that?" The bull said, "Really, try it and see, the whole humanity is on it." So the pheasant started pecking at the dung and lo, on the first day itself he reached the first branch of the tree. Within a fortnight, he did hit the topmost branch of the tree. He went and sat there on the topmost branch of the tree, just beginning to enjoy the scenery. The old farmer who was rocking on the rocking chair saw a fat old pheasant sitting on top of the tree. He pulled out his shotgun and shot the bird out the tree. The moral of the story is, many times even bullshit can get you to the top, but it never lets you stay there. So people are trying to bull themselves into well-being. Somehow tell yourself funny, fanciful things and feel good for some time, but full of fear. So full of fear. The entire humanity is full of fear because they're flying on bullshit. Unfortunately, they create all kinds of authorities which will dish out this bullshit. A time is coming, a very good time is coming, where human intellect has fired in such a way that anything that is not logically correct, most people cannot digest anymore. Slowly we're getting there. So a time is coming when truth will be the only authority. Authority can never be the truth in future. So good times are coming. It's just that we must hurry it up so that it happens in our times.
What does the Hindu Sanatana Dharma actually mean?
See, there is no such thing as Hindu Sanatana Dharma. It is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means eternal. Something that's eternal means something that's always true. So, if you had come here 100 years ago, you would be dressed differently. You wouldn't be making a cinema, maybe you would be growing mangoes in Andhra Pradesh. Where are you from? Krishna district?
Yes, Hyderabad, sir.
Hyderabad. Maybe you will be a farmer, maybe you will be something else, a fisherman or something. Same man, but you would be doing something else. If you came 1,000 years ago, you would be doing something else. So what we are doing today, how you are dressed today, how you speak today, how you act today, is a generational thing, it's of the times. This keeps changing. How tomorrow the next generation will act, how they will dress, what they will do, it'll be totally different from the way we are doing it right now. So this is one dimension of life. This we call as smriti. Smriti literally translates as memory or from memory. Whatever you're doing right now, how you dress right now is either just like your father or in reaction, never like your father isn't it? But both by memory. So you have learned certain things by memory. This is smriti. But there is shruti, which can be interpreted in many different ways. One dimension of it is, it's the tune of life. This is not set by you, this is creation. Only if you understand the shruti of life, then you can find a rhythm. This is what bharata means. Bha means bhava or the experience of life. Ra means raga, which is the shruti of life. Tha means tala. Bhava is what happens to you, it's an experience. But raga is already set, the shruti is already set. Now it's for you to find the right rhythm for that, so that life happens beautifully like a wonderful music. If you don't find the rhythm, the same shruti which facilitates life will crush you. So, when we say Sanatana dharma, we are talking about that dimension of life which does not change, which is fundamental to our existence.
Eternal.
It's fundamental, it is the basis of our existence. Well, how you dress, what's your profession, how do you deal with your family, how do you deal with your relationships, society, this is all transient. Every generation it's different, from person to person it's different. But the laws that govern my life also govern your life and every other life, whether it's a worm, insect, bird, animal or plant, all of them are ruled by that law, which is Sanatana dharma. The fundamental laws which govern the existence. This must be understood clearly. When we talk about laws, we are not talking about penal code imposed by human beings upon each other for control and whatever, some semblance of sanity in the society. Because that law has to change from generation to generation. You see, there is so much fight going on about change this law, change that law. Every generation is fighting for it always. That's a different thing because that's a transactional law. When we talk about Sanatana dharma, we are not talking about a transactional dharma, we are talking about an existential dharma. First of all, let us understand the word dharma. Dharma means the law. Dharma does not mean religion. In this culture, we don't know what is religion, we don't have such things. We are only looking at what are the underlying laws for my life to happen in the best possible way, because we understand unless you stick to the law, your life cannot happen well. Because a law is not an imposition, a law is the basis, it's the foundation of the existence. If you figure this out well, then your life happens effortlessly because you know the laws or you're in tune with the laws. If you don't know, for no reason you suffer, simply. So Sanatana dharma is that dimension. Does it belong to a Hindu or somebody else or an Indian person or some other person? That's not the point. This is what governs the existence. No culture has looked at it with such profoundness as we have in this culture. So because of that pride, we may say, this is Hindu Sanatana dharma. But we are limiting the possibility of Sanatana dharma by adding the word Hindu to it. If you understand, the word Hindu is a geographical identity. The land that lies between Himalayas and Hindu Sagara is Hindu. In that sense, if you're saying it, it's all right for pride, but it's not all right, it's not correct, because Sanatana dharma applies to every life, wherever they may be born or unborn. It applies even to unborn life and the life that is dead also. So Sanatana dharma talks about how to handle the unborn, how to handle the born, how to handle the grown-up, how to handle different stages of life and how to handle the dead, all dimensions of life. But smriti is something that every generation should reinvent or amendments need to happen. This is the only culture which is thought of things like this, that we understand social transactions have to evolve. Evolution does not necessarily mean we're doing something better than the previous generation. It is just that because situations are changing, we're evolving so that we fit into those situations. So situational transactions have to evolve and change. So this culture allowed that. How you ate 100 years ago, today we can debate and say that's not the way we want to eat because my work habits have changed. When I was ploughing the land, I was eating that much of whatever. Today I'm just directing a movie, so I will only this much of this. So there is no law to say you have to eat like this, you have to fast like this, you have to do this. Because these laws must be constantly amended. As India's constitution can be amended according to the changes needed for a particular generation, similarly, but even in the constitution there are a few fundamental rights and other things that you don't touch. You cannot call that Sanatana dharma, but in a way it is. For the nation, it is. There are a few fundamental rights which are absolute, sacrosanct, you cannot touch it. But everything else is available for amendments and improvements and knockdown of certain laws, all these things. So, this is a very profound way of seeing life. But what has happened to us is, because of over 1,000 years of invasion, and when they saw, when people who came from outside, what amazed them was, they did not come as conquerors to first, they just came as bandits. Few dozens or a few hundreds. They were amazed how developed and how economically strong and so much wealth, but unprotected. Their idea of a heap of gold means there would be 10 men always standing there with arms. But here, people put a heap of gold on the street and sold. Because society was so evolved, people understood what are the laws. If I steal yours, tomorrow you will steal mine and the whole society will collapse after some time. So people were so wise and evolved, when they came, this looked like a free-for-all bonanza. They could take what they want. Wealth was not protected, women were not protected, they were everywhere. They picked up what they want and exploited it in a most horrible way, most horrific way. Today we're trying to glorify those things also, unfortunately. But in a most horrific way, they did this. When the Islamic invasions happened, this happened. They did not come as invaders. They did not come as religious crusaders. They just came as bandits. But when they saw it was so easy, because there were men involved in profound music, mathematics, astronomy, astrology, all kinds of things, but there were not too many fighting men. So it was a walkover. The land, the beautiful land that this was, the rich banks of the rivers, agriculturally rich, wealth, gold, diamonds. The first nation which mined diamonds in the world is India, all right? The greatest diamond in the world is still from India, it is sitting on the British crown But they saw this is like a paradise that you can take without resistance. And they took it because they were basically nomadic people, barbarian, they did their own terrible things. Even when the British came, we must understand, it is not the United Kingdom's army which came, it's East India Company which came. It's a business which came, but they saw it so easy to take this country. They became emperors over a period of time. They came only to do business. Traders came and became emperors and rulers of this nation because we had such a profound culture where people were not in that fighting mode, but involved profoundly into these things, and laws were absolutely respected by everybody. So they thought the people who came from outside also is going to respect this, but they were in for a surprise. By the time they recovered, it was all over So now we are where we are, wherever we are, whether you are Indian, Hindu, non-Hindu, whatever you are, Sanatana dharma applies to everybody because these are the laws which guide the fundamental process of life. But smritis are different. Your smriti and my smriti may be different. It is different, actually. What is true in Andhra Pradesh is not true in Tamil Nadu, what is true in Tamil Nadu is not true in Kerala, so close by. What is true in this western Tamil Nadu is not true in southern Tamil Nadu. Because this is by memory. Our parents, our culture, what they did, either we are doing the same thing or in reaction we are doing an opposite thing. But this is a constantly changing process, not only from generation to generation, in our own life. Every few years our smritis are changing. From our memory we are changing, isn't it? Many aspects of our life. But Shruti doesn't change because this is not set by you, this is set by creation. So Sanatana dharma means this, what governs your life, you must understand that. Once you understand that, you live a profound and beautiful life. So we didn't have to talk about… See, in this culture, nobody is talking about morality, commandments, what you should do, what you should not do, moral stuff, if you do this, you will go to heaven, if you do that, you will go to hell. All this is not there because we inculcated this dimension. If you are in tune with the laws, you don't need punishment, you don't need reward. If you understand the traffic law rules and you're driving accordingly, you don't need a policeman, isn't it? So this was a culture without a policeman, for which we paid the price in some way, unfortunately.
So Sadhguru, at that point of time, the Sanatana Dharma in our country was so strong. And because it was our country, we call it the Hindu Sanatana Dharma. And ippatiki ee kalamlo there is a talk that everything is diluted, like the be it religion, even if you think in terms of religion, in terms of the Sanatana Dharma of today's age, everything feels diluted, palchpadipoyindani oka feeling undi. So why do you think that is happening, even though it's been a long time since we have been under any direct foreign influence? And also the original strength that we had, like back in the day, where did that come from?
See, you cannot dilute Sanatana Dharma. Your understanding may be diluted, but Dharma is not diluted because it's a basis of the existence.
Society understand.
Yes, individual understanding may be diluted. From person to person, it may be in different dimensions of understanding. But is the Dharma diluted? Who can dilute it because you didn't create it? That is what is governing the laws of nature, all right? So you cannot dilute it. When we say laws of nature, today modern science has brought this sense of very superficial way of looking at it. Laws of nature means gravity, physical things. But there is a law. See, from the same soil, this tree is growing. From the same soil, this creeper is growing. That comes out with one kind of leaf, this comes out with another kind of flower. From the same soil you have eaten and you become this. From the same soil I have eaten and I have become this. Source is same, look at the manifold expression. They say there are over 1.6 trillion life forms on this planet right now, that's the thing. But I think there are many more that you have not even seen, okay? From a microorganism to a human being, in between everything has come from the same soil, isn't it? So, why is it? Suppose, let us say you and another animal eat the same food for the next 2 years. You think at any point you will get confused that you may be the animal, or the animal will get confused that it may be the director? Is it possible? No. So obviously there is a law governing it, isn't it, no matter what. It is not like a traffic lane where you can go here and there. It's like a railway track, it is just fixed and you're just going on it. The question is, how fast and how far will you go? That's the only question you have. You can't become this tree, can you? Can you become a tree? Can you become a dog? Can you become a cat? Can you become a cow or an elephant or a tiger? You cannot do what you want, you can call yourself a tiger. That's an evolutionary backward step But you cannot become… if you eat like a tiger, you will not become a tiger. If you behave like one, you will not become one. Whatever you do, it will not become one because there is a fundamental law governing all this. If you understand and if you're in tune with that, you will live effortlessly. If you don't understand, every step you will struggle. So is Sanatana Dharma diluted? That's not even in our hands to dilute. Our business is only how profoundly do we perceive that law? How much are we in tune with it? So entire system of yoga is just that, we are not talking on those terms, but essentially we want you to be in tune with the rest of the existence so that your life happens joyfully, with exuberantly, to the fullest capacity that it can happen. See, only thing that can go wrong with your life is just this. Did you find full expression to your life or not? Isn't it? What can go wrong with this tree? Only thing is, will it grow into its full capacity or will it die as a half-grown tree. The same is true with the human being. If you're in tune with the laws, you will grow to your full possibility. If you're not, you will become stunted in some way. This is our only concern, isn't it? People may not actually think like this, but actually that is the only thing. All their desires, all their ambitions, all their longings are all about becoming a full-fledged life. So if you want to become a full-fledged life, understanding the laws of on what basis this life is happening, is it not very important? That is Sanatana dharma. It doesn't belong to you or me, it is laid down by creation. It's for you and me to be in tune with it. Here, we have understood and codified it and put it together in a certain way. It doesn't mean in the rest of the world nobody knows about it. Many individual people know about it, they might not have written it down as Shruti, Smriti, whatever, all right? But a whole lot of human beings around the world have been in tune with it, because everywhere human beings have blossomed and lived well. But no culture has put it together in an organized way, because this level of understanding has not been there. This has happened to us because we had about 6 to 8,000 years of uninterrupted culture. This is why we call ourselves Hindu, because we know this uninterrupted growth and flourishing of this culture happened because of two main geographical features. Himalayas protected us in the north, people didn't come easily. In the south, the Indian Ocean was the barrier. Once they learned how to cross Himalayas and once they learned how to navigate the Indian Ocean, then we are done. That's what has happened to us in the last 1,000 years.
So in today's age, sir, like today's generation, whose responsibility would it be to teach or tell or guide people to be on the right path or to follow or to understand the dharma? Because it's… is it… I mean, in today's age we have to even wonder, is it even… does… who holds the responsibility? Is it like…
No, in every age, people think there is something wrong with the younger generation, okay? There's a quote which says, this younger generation is lost, they have no respect for wisdom, they don't even stand up when elders come. This generation has no future. Something like this, I'm paraphrasing it, very much like that. But who said this? Socrates said it. At that time also he thought the same thing. So now also parents are thinking the same thing. Our parents were thinking the same thing about us. I'm not thinking like that about the younger generation. I see that there is a possibility. The question is the previous generation, what kind of footprint they leave, that decides what kind of footprint the next generation will leave. If you have left an irresponsible footprint, they will go somewhere. If you've left a responsible footprint, responsible does not mean imposition, responsible means cultivation, isn't it?
Inspiration.
Inspiration and cultivation, not imposition.
ఒక్క ప్రశ్న సార్, చాలా మంది అడిగారు భక్తి టీవీ తరఫు నుంచి కూడా, వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ గురు అండ్ సద్గురు అని అడిగారు, అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద వర్డ్ సద్గురు అని మీరు చెప్తే?
Sadhguru means uneducated guru. Guru may be highly educated. When I say education, see, people's idea of education is just memory, isn't it? We're trying to change this in the school, that it's not about your memory, it's about learning to use your faculty better, your mind, your emotion, your energy, you must learn to use it better, that is education for me. But largely education means, it's about enhancing memory. Anyway, in the next 5–10 years you will feel stupid because right now my phone has 600 GB. I'm sure you're nowhere close to that, all right? In another 5 years, this will have 10,000 GB. You will be no match. You may be a PhD out of your memory, but my phone will do 10 PhDs in a day. Yes, not far away, it's going to happen. So those who are gloating on their memory, those who believe memory is intelligence, teachers, professors, scholars, I don't want to put guru in that thing, but you're mentioning in that sense. So all those people, because they read a book a few years ahead of you who think they're elevated, they're all going to fall with artificial intelligence. So a sadhguru means he's uneducated. Uneducated means he has no memory of anything. He's shruti, he's not smruti. He's not by his memory, he's by his perception. So sadh means inner or inward. One who has grown from his within is a sadhguru. When you say a guru, he could be of many kinds. Usually in this culture, we have very clearly defined like a rishi, raja rishi, brahma rishi, a yogi, a siddha, guru, sadhguru, like this. These are all descriptions, these are not titles. People think they are titles. These are descriptions. Now I'm called sadhguru so that you don't make the mistake of coming to me and asking, what about this Veda, what about that Upanishads? I don't know a damn thing. So just to make things clear for you, you are going to your sadhguru. That means you don't ask him astrology, you don't ask him Veda, you don't ask him Upanishad, you don't ask him some scripture. If you want to ask something about life, because he's explored his life from its origin to its ultimate. If you want to know something about life, he will talk. If you want to know something about scripture, you must go to that kind of a scholarly guru. So in a way, not to aggrandize myself, but in a way if you have to say, a guru is like a mechanic. He's trying to fix a few things. He's not here to give you a great lecture on something, he's trying to fix you in a certain way. So if you have a vehicle and you go to your mechanic, there are lots of local mechanics who can do many things. I must tell you my experience. There was a time I crisscrossed India on my motorcycle. Once again, I'm getting back on my motorcycle these days So I'm just riding somewhere between Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, I don't know whether it's this state or that state. Whole night I've been riding early morning. Around 6:30, I come and I park near a dhaba to have a tea or something. Motorcycles, every 2,000, 3,000 kilometers, those days these modern machines are better. You have to tighten the chain becomes slack. I'm always carrying an extra chain because I'm on the road. You just have to de-link one link, you have to take it off and put it. It's a small job, but it's messy. It's greasy, oily, your hands go bad, everything. So I parked for a tea in the morning, then I saw there was one mechanic shop right there, early morning, it was open, Mubarak Mechanical Works. I can't forget this, handwritten sign, Mubarak Mechanical Works. So I saw a young strapling youth, one Muslim boy. I called him, "Hey, can you fix the chain? I just want one link to go." He said, "Yes, I can do it." I said, "Okay, do it." So he brought his tools. I looked at him, he's got a hammer and a chisel. I said, "What, you going to fix with that?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Wait." And I walked into his garage, a small little shack. I look inside, all he's got is a hammer and chisel. With this he repairs everything. I said, "No, you're not going to touch my motorcycle because I know if you do it with hammer and chisel, after that nobody else can do anything with the motorcycle, it's finished." I said, "No, you don't do it, I got all the tools with me, I will do it." Why I'm saying this is, like this, you read one book, as holy as the book may be, you read one book, you are a hammer and chisel mechanic, with that you try to fix everything. No, I've read nothing spiritual, because spiritual is the basis of your existence. Spiritual is not in the book. Only this life can be spiritual. A book cannot be spiritual, a teaching cannot be spiritual, something else cannot be spiritual. Only this life can be spiritual. So I just explored my life out of my own self-interest, because my life bothered me without any reason. We didn't grow up in that kind of a family where there's no food. There is food, there is willing to educate you whichever way you want, everything they're willing to do, their best. But you simply… life is bothering you from inside. So I looked and looked and looked at myself, nobody else. I didn't put anybody else under microscope. I put myself under my own microscope and learned to look at myself, because most people are incapable of looking at themselves, they're only capable of looking at others. So a sadhguru is somebody who knows himself from its origin to its ultimate nature of this life. Fortunately, you're also made the same way on the level of Shruti. Fundamentally, you are also just made exactly like me. But in your transactions, you may be completely different from me, but it doesn't matter to me what kind of transactions you do in your life. It really doesn't matter to me. People are worried, Sadhguru, you can't be seen with this person, that… I said, there's no problem for me. Film director is okay for me, a criminal is okay for me, a prostitute is okay for me, anybody is okay for me, as long as they're human, it's okay for me. Because what is their transaction in the world is their business. My business is just to put them on the track of Sanatana dharma, which is the basis of your existence. Whatever the hell you're doing in your life, my business is to see that you're a complete human being. First, activities as the world allows, as the world compels sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes it allows, sometimes it compels. So, activity is individual choice, I don't care what they're doing. Oh, how can you be seen with this man, this is a corrupt man, this is a politician, this is a prostitute. I have no issues with any of them because I am only looking at the life. I am not looking at their transactions. Their transactions is their problem. But every transaction they do, depending on the nature of the transactions, either they get something or they lose something. Something will happen, isn't it? That's their problem. My problem is only to put this life on the fundamental tracks, which is the Sanatana dharma, the eternal laws which govern this creation. You must be in tune with that. If you're in tune with that, do whatever you want. But does it mean to say everybody can do what they want? Tell me, if you become very blissful and wonderful, if you simply sit here, you don't have to make movies, you don't have to make money, you don't have to be famous, simply sit here and you're fantastic. Will you think how to rob these people, how to exploit that person, how to kill this person, will you think? Just imagine, you're feeling absolutely wonderful within yourself. Are you thinking how to get the best out of somebody? Will you? Just doesn't occur to you, isn't it? So the problem with the world is, we are trying to fix the transactions without fixing the fundamental life process. When we say morality, ethic, values, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to fix the transactions without fixing the fundamental life. So if you fix this life the way it should be, transactions will happen according to the needs of the world. People are always asking, these kind of idiotic things keep coming to me from journalists and others. Oh, in the olden times, yogis used to walk, you're driving your own car. I said, in the olden times, you idiot, everybody was walking, all right, not just the yogi. Yogi might have walked little faster than others. Now the yogi drives little faster than others, that's all.
What did the Naga Baba see in Sadhguru? Shared by Isa Brahmacharini. Isa Brahmacharini says, during my adventurous days in the Himalayas, I happened to spend a few days with a Naga Baba, about 65 years old, who was said to be enlightened. My friend took me to meet Babaji in Rudraprayag. I clearly remember the first day I met him. He had come to meet me, my friend, and me in a lodge, along with his pet dog, a little insane Pomeranian, who would jump to bite you at the slightest provocation. Clad in a bright yellow-orange artificial silk kurta, Babaji seems to be a bundle of joy and was bursting into laughter every few sentences. The next day when we went to Babaji's small hut, stationed right on the top of the iconic rock Narad Sila at the point of confluence of the rivers Alkananda and Mandakani. We learned that Babaji was not well, but his disciple, who was also an ISA volunteer, had gone back to Chennai to spend a few days with his mother. Babaji invited me to stay back and with him for a while, but I politely refused. His presence was very powerful. I burst into tears when I touched his feet before leaving. In a week's time, somehow I decided to go back and help him until his disciple come back. I was staying in a lodge but would go in the morning to cook for him and clean the place. Soon I was enjoying his presence, and during the course of my stay, I definitely felt that he had some inexplicable power. He spoke to me in Hindi, but he could read my thought even though he did not understand a word of English. Unable to believe his precise reading of my thought, back in my lodge, I would often reflect if I was really thinking in English. It seems absurd that he knew my every single thought of any importance when he did not know the language. He could also heal people and had in the past consecrated temple in Himachal Pradesh. He had a certain power over animals as well. He was feeding and taking care of 4 wild mountain dogs in addition to that tiny Pomeranian. Just before we would start to eat, he would do something and all his 4 dogs would go to sleep. If a devotee paid a visit to him, he would know what desire that person carried within him. He was actually a tantric who used to do rituals at the cremation ground on the river bank. He once said that how a woman's spirit come to cut his deadlock because she did not like him interfering in her devious ways. He had told me many stories like that, but I wouldn't believe any of those. He was known to be a Paropkari Baba, one who helps others, as he would offer food to any sadhus and saint who passed by. He used to love what I would cook for him and his guest. He asked me to stay with him even after his disciple come back. I will teach you how to control animals and even people. You will be able to heal people. He would often entice me to become his disciple with promising me various siddhis. I was not interested at all in all that. I was clear that I wanted to walk the spiritual path full time. My heart and my mind was with Sadhguru. I longed for Sadhguru to offer me brahmacharya and give me refuge. I was totally aligned to spirituality before I met Sadhguru about 4 years prior, and it was through practice he initiated me into that. I was endowed with a new clarity about life within me. I was desperately longing to walk the path, and Babaji would have definitely known it. He grew very fond of me and asked me many times to get initiated by him and continue my sadhana with him. However, my thought about Sadhguru wouldn't budge. I just wanted Sadhguru to initiate me into brahmacharya. I did not discuss this much with Babaji. I would just laugh each time he asked me to take diksha from him. Anyway, one day I showed Sadhguru's photos to this evolved Naga Baba. He was stunned looking at the photo and said, "He is very big." I asked Baba, "Who is he?" He said, "He has come to spread light in the world. He is light himself." Immensely glad, I asked, "Sadhguru comes to Himalayas sometimes. Would you like to meet him?" He said, "If he comes here, I will wash his feet If he comes here, I will wash his feet with my hand and drink that water. I was humbled and astonished to see his humility. I showed him the photo of Dhyanalinga. He bowed down to the photo and said, "One can easily get into a samadhi in this temple. If one is open, if my body allows, I want to visit Dhyanalinga before I leave my body." After this incident, he did not stop me from going back to Sadhguru. In a few days after his disciple returned, I went to him to ask for his blessing before I left. "See, I am a tantric. If I don't want a person sitting in front of me to leave me, he can't even get up from the floor until I allow him. However, you are under Sadhguru's grace and I can't do anything to you," he said, and blessed me compassionately for my journey ahead. "Come back if you ever wish to," he added lovingly as he bade goodbye to each other. There are many others like me who have been evolving, bowing down to the Sadhguru. I can't even begin to write my own personal experience around this great being. If Krishna, Gautam Buddha, Jesus or Rama were among us today, would you not go to them for salvation? Or at least would you not want to know them and be around them? Trust me, Sadhguru is not famous enough yet. I don't think Krishna, Rama, Gautam Buddha, Jesus were either during their times. Only a part of humanity knew them, and they had many enemies too. Such is the nature of human society, human mind.